Hello, thank you for watching this video. My name is Siwela. I'm the owner of Siwela Wines. I'm a biotechnologist by profession. I'm a winemaker. So if you're watching this video, I'm taking it that you want to go into the wine business or you want to know how I made my first million. A lot of things are not really, it's not a secret. A lot of things, it's just about working really hard and looking at the strategies that work and those that don't work. So on this video, I'm going to share with you the strategies that I feel that they work and those that I feel that don't work and are based on my experience. So if you do drink some wine, you need to go to the website www.siwelawines.co.za, see what we've got to offer. We have got a wide range of wines, so different wines for different palates. We've also got different services such as the consultation services for people interested in going into the wine business. We've also got some wine courses for beginners, which should be, your start, your starting platform for learning about wine and equipping yourself with the right knowledge with regards to wine. And especially if you want to go into the business of wine, I would recommend that you do take the courses so you could be able to know the product, know wine in and out. So anyways, so in this video, like I said, it's going to be more about the strategies that I feel that work and that have worked for me. So there's a lot of strategies that you could find online everywhere else and from people that have been in the business before. And some of these strategies that I'm going to share with you today might have not worked for me, but perhaps they could work for someone else. But this is just about the results that came out of the strategies that I've been using. So the first thing is to find a niche, obviously. So finding a niche for me has been not being everywhere else and just staying away from retail. So staying away from retail has worked in my favor because there are a lot of challenges, with regards to being in retail. First of all, there's a lot of competition on the retail spaces. And there's a lot of demand in terms of expectations from the retail industry. Such things like your huge budget for marketing. Sometimes a small brand cannot afford that, and you also get you need to have like a good capacity for your distribution into the retail space. So how are you going to get your product into the shops? Do you have like deliveries that delivery vehicles to send your products into the shop or deliver into the shop when they need the stock? Do you have people that you can send to the shops to do marketing, to do promotions in store and all that? And those things come at an expense. So it really costs a lot of money to survive in retail. Not forgetting the fact that there's a lot of options on the shelf. So consumers have a lot of options. They have a lot of options to choose from. So how do people now choose your product in comparison to something that they've been drinking like since forever? So and also staying away from every other establishment. So establishments would be your hotels, would be your restaurants, would be any other establishment that resells wine. So that has worked for me because just like retail spaces, they do pose great challenges for small brands. So in your establishment or in restaurants and all that, I feel like it's important to find great partnerships. So you need to find the people you could work with closely, because there's just the strain of trying to compete with bigger brands when you deal with hotels and restaurants, and most of the time you're forced to cut down your prices to an extent that you don't end up making money, but they do, and that's not going to work for you as a small brand, because as a small brand you don't really produce masses, but you produce like a small amount of wine, for example, smaller volumes. So it's difficult to compete with producers that are mass producers. So that has worked for my advantage as well, staying away from retail spaces, stay away from restaurants, hotels, and every other market that has been occupied by the bigger brands. So it's important to find your own market. And the other thing would be online presence. So when we started the brand, we've primarily, you know, being present online. So online platforms work better for your any other brand really, and that is because you're able to choose the kind of content you want to share with your audience, and you can reach out a whole lot of people from anywhere else in the world. So I would vote for like online platforms. And the other thing would be that you would need to have a great strategy in terms of who do you talk to, how do you talk to your audience, and what message do you send, what message does your brand carry, and can it really speak to the audience that you're trying to speak to. And most importantly, the other thing would be pricing. So no matter where you sell, you still need to be able to be competitive in price, because in today's times, the economy is not doing so well. People have lost their jobs, and people cannot afford a whole lot of things. So you need to, be able to compete in terms of the price. So look at what other brands are selling, the wines similar to what you're selling, and try to, align your prices with that. So you need to be realistic. So you can't just want to charge for a bottle of wine 500 rands, for example, when another brand is charging 60 rands a bottle. So you need to be realistic in terms of your pricing. And the other thing for me would be that you have to have great volumes. So volumes are very, very important. Volumes are the key to the success of any other brand, any other wine brand. So if you don't have the volumes, you really are not going to make it. So unless if you're going to go into your premium production, but premium is also like, I would suggest that once you've established a brand, then you can go into premium. Because premium means that you're going to need a lot of money to produce a premium product, and you also need to market it as a premium product, which would also cost you a lot of money. And people need to know your reputation before they can trust you with bigger things. It's just common sense. So volumes are key. So before you even try to invest in anything else, you have to try to invest in your volumes. And that is how you can successfully establish a brand, and that is how you can make it a success. And you can also follow us on all social media platforms at Sibwela Wines. So if you're looking for anything from wine courses to consultation services, to anything really about wine, so do visit our website www.sibwelawines.co.za. Cheers.